All right, so now let's talk about importing with data fields. So in a previous video, we showed how to download from USA membership registration and then bring it over and import it into USA Bracketing. Well, right now we're going to take it one step further and we're going to import a file, and then we're going to show you how we can add some core fields, some custom data fields, and be able to import that data as well from membership, okay? So, or any other file. So I'm going to go setup and importing. I'm going to go to uploads. And again, I'm going to create an upload. All right, we'll call it wrestlers, just like we did before. I'm going to then go down and choose the wrestlers because this is going to be a wrestler file. And I'm going to choose a file that I want to import. Okay. So once I choose that file, I'm going to import and I click upload. It's going to load it up for me to be able to look at. All right. And I can see just by going down this, I'm like, oh, I might want to get their email. I might want to get a grade or a phone state. There's different things I might want to get out of this. Maybe I want their actual weight. Maybe I want to get their date of birth, those sorts of things. So if I want to get these, all I'll need to do is be like, hey, you know what? I want to go create some data fields now. So I go setup, and then I go to my event fields. Okay. And from here, let's add some core fields first. The core fields, again, are fields that are already on the wrestler that you can just pick off to be able to include in your tournament. Things like actual weight, things like defeated teams, or defeated wrestlers, if you're doing seeding by head to heads. I can also come in here and go date of birth because we're going to include that. Sure, we'll do grade, and I'll do a skill level just to throw something else in there, and their state. We'll grab their state too. Okay, so I can grab those things. I can make them required. I can include them in registration, but since we're doing uploads, we're just going to leave it like it is and just go ahead and hit add. Okay, that adds those core fields right here for me to be able to deal with. All right. I'm also going to add a couple of data fields that are custom just to show you. So if I want to collect that email address, I can come in and say, hey, I want it to be a wrestler. On the wrestler, I want to call it email. I want to say that field type is going to be a text, just a text field. And I could give some instructions if I had them filling out during registrations or anything like the other. I could have it required, included, all those sorts of things. So we're going to just add that text field now. I'm also going to go ahead and add a pin data. So I want to say, hey, we're going to say it's a wrestler. We're going to import pins if there are any available, so that maybe we want to see by that. We're going to call it an integer. With pins, we want to go 0 as the minimum. We want to go 5,000 as the max. And then we're just going to add that field as well. All right. Once we have those done, we're going to go back to that setup and importing now. And I'm going to go to my uploads. And from here, I'm going to click the pencil because I can see that this upload isn't complete yet. So if I click the pencil, it'll let me back in. And now I can start to fill out some of those fields. So I'm like, hey, you know what? I don't have that. I wanted that email address because we added that one. So we're going to add email. It already picks off grade since we matched that one up. We didn't do phone. So, state, already picked that one up too. Now I've got my USAW ID number, my division he's going to be in, Greco pin. This is a folk style tournament. So we're going to say last name, team name, first name. There's his weight class that he's coming in as. Actual weight, so if we did weigh-ins over in membership, it would pull the actual weights over with it. Date of birth, we want to make sure we got that, so we're going to put that date of birth in there. And then finally, as I scroll over, this is a folk style tournament, so I want to make that my pin, as the folk style pin, just in case there are any in there that I might want to seed by, okay? And then finally, experience level is usually what you use for skill level, so I'm going to include that as well, okay? So once I had all my data fields that I created and wanted to use, once I had all those selected, I just go back through and see it real quick, make sure it's good. Now I can hit save imported data. Okay. That kicks off the job. That starts the import process. And then once that job is done, it will disappear from up here in the top right. But I'm going to go ahead and go to wrestlers just so you can see that when I go to wrestlers now, one, that job is done. And two, I can see that it created all these wrestlers for me. It created the wrestler put him on the team in the division with the weight class. I can see that it imported their date of birth and their state just like it was supposed to. And since we didn't have any grade or skill or actual weights in that file, all these are just kind of empty right now. Okay. But I can see, there's one actual weight that got pulled in. So I can see that some actual weights were in that file and got pulled over as well. Okay. So as we do that, we can sit here and see how all that works and how we can import using those custom data fields that we created.